um, person. Um, Short, that is, not slim, but yeah. Is a discussion for 18 of them to go from Germany towards Ukraine together with um, train crews. And I don't know, have you talked about this? And another three from Portugal.
We have not, but you can bring.
So this is what Minister Pistorius said. Um, so it's about A6. I know you love them because they are the updated versions. So it's better than A4. So this is the gist of it. 18 tanks from Germany, 3 from Portugal. Their crews are being trained at this moment, so they are not uh, just the tanks. You will have the Umpa with them, and it's written here, just as you said, uh, that they are the most modern Leopard 2's main battle tanks.
Which can be given. There is an A7 version, but nobody would give them at the moment. But yes, you're right. It's amongst those which are being donated. They are the most modern ones, and they're very good. Sorry, please.
No problem. So on January 25th, Germany agreed to supply Ukraine 14 Leopard tanks and allowed the re-export. And they stated that it was for Ukraine from its allies. On February 11, Olaf Scholz made that comment on this and talked about 80, which is a lot better. And um, and yes, I'm breaking my own rules, um, entering the space while I had some sips of whiskey, so I'm kind of impaired at this point. It's pure.
Elevated.
It's for pure medicinal purposes. I have a sore throat, and Gani helpfully told me that this is the way. So if this is the way, this is the way. I have to follow the way.
And a saltwater gargle. This is the way, not whiskey.
Well,
I'm absolutely firmly in Anders' camp.
thank you. Um, Joanna, I heard this a lot of times from my grandmother. Yeah, I don't know. I never liked it. I don't know if it works, but I never liked it. So I used to pretend it doesn't work because I never liked it. So maybe if I said it doesn't work, she will stop making me. Anyways, so at the beginning of March, Germany announced that they intend to purchase Leopard 2s from Switzerland, and also Poland said that they are ready to repair Leopard 2s, and not only from um, Ukraine. So a lot of help was promised to Ukraine. And today actually is the first day in which I see like a firm promise this is going to go. Like we're gonna see them this month. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed, and I'm calling an Uber. So I'm a responsible a responsible driver, right? So yeah, I'm good.
It's funny that you mentioned the aid that is the help that is given to Ukraine, all those equipments, military equipments, because the Russians today destroyed the 153rd M777. So they destroyed 100% of the 777s and 60% of MLRSs, and this will be of the HIMARS.
Uh,
They are done. Axel, they are done. Like done, done.
done. Exactly.
I actually have a question. So I'm sorry. R- Regarding the M777, like we should bring some experts here. How many were there in Ukraine all over? Is that number accurate? That's my question.
It's a very good question. I think I once had a note from CJ giving a proper number. If you give me a second, I can find this out.
Well, in the meantime, we can go to James. James, you had your hand up, but
Sure. Yeah, no, the technical expression, Andrew, is a hot toddy, I believe, which is lemon juice, whiskey, warm water, and honey. It's the best thing for what you have, I think. And on the subject of M777s, I can't remember the number either, but it would be very interesting to find out. What we do know is the number of leopards coming, but we didn't know the delivery date. So thank you very much for that, Andrew. It's extremely encouraging. One thing you can say about the Germans, yeah, they may be slow to the party, but they do tend to deliver on their promises. They're very efficient to that sort of thing. Thanks.
James, you're from UK. Is that correct?
Precisely.
Now tell me, during the battle against Napoleon, weren't the Germans arriving late but saving the day?
Well, luckily they didn't arrive at all. Not in time to save Napoleon's army, certainly at Waterloo.
No, they arrived to save the British, my friend James. Blücher arrived with the younger von Zieten with his cavalry to relieve the British and therefore win the day at Waterloo. That's what young Anda is referring to.
Ah, right. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. No. My Napoleonic warfare is pretty poor.
I'm sorry. I'm a bit of a nerd, and I love that period of time. And actually, I read a lot about England between 1780 and 1820. So yeah. Anyway.
All right, I have the answer for you, by the way, but I only have the answer as of January 27th. So the roll-up which CJ then highlighted was that at least 152 M777 had been delivered. At least. He says at least because we do not have any kind of perfect data. We have basic data and we have confirmations of individual deliveries. And those we have, but there is rumor that more have been delivered. 35 are reconciled as damaged, respectively destroyed. Typically, you also then added that about the barrels last about 7,000 rounds, which is 4,000 more than expected. That is exceptional, and that's actually quite good. Just showcases that war is the ultimate test for every weapon system. And yeah, that's it.
Well, I just got a message also. I love when I get messages. This one is from Defmon and Oryx. They counted 173, and that's yesterday. So
That's consistent with what CJ then put out. because it's more than the 152. And there was also a delivery of a few M777 since. I'm just trying to find out when. But yes, makes sense. So thank you, Devmon.
And thank you, Pendolino, because he passed.
The bloody Swiss.
He's loving me, right? Thank you. I think it's the whiskey, but yeah. Anyway, thank you. I have, you know, I put up this avatar because I always have questions. Some of them are dumb, I know. I'm sorry, but I try to at least be charming about them. So I hope this helps. Anyway, my other question was about the main battle tanks. So you said earlier, we said earlier, right? There are some A7s. We also discussed about A4s arriving in Ukraine. So that is a nice thing. What I'm wondering, Axel, and what I don't know, like no idea. What do we know about the rest of the tanks that arrived in Ukraine? So I have a number from last year that Poland was delivering to Ukraine. Delivered, not was delivering. They actually delivered 260 T-72s, and there was a discussion to deliver 60 more this year. So that would make over 320. So these are apart from the leopards, right? And these are um, Russian production. They are updated by the Polish. I think they are called PT-91, something like that. So my question was the following: one, if we know, like, we have any idea how many did arrive in Ukraine, because they said at some point like they need between 300 and 500 tanks in order to actually push back Russia. And how is Poland managing the repairs? Like we I think it was Heather here in the space, one of her first days as a co-host, and there was a piece of news about a tank. You could actually you could actually enter where you being in Ukraine and having problems with your howitzer or your tank or whatever. And at that point, not that point, there were like 52 American soldiers, but not only, in Poland, but not only, helping Ukrainian soldiers to fix remotely their howitzers, but not only.
Yes.
Yes.
Battlefield and first echelon repair. We call it tele-maintenance.
So I love that part because I'm actually awful with my computer. I'm the problem of my computer. So let's put it that way.
That's every computer problem is ultimately a user issue.
So I don't want to mention the moment when I drink whiskey. So that's for the other moments. When I drink, I'm perfect. That being said, I was wondering if we know, like, for sure that some of them are fixed remotely, like they can actually evaluate, right? um, I have this problem. um, I have these tools, I have these spare parts from, I don't know, others, or I brought them with me. um, how often would they need to send tanks and other equipment to Ukraine, to Poland? Because I know they send the crabs, like physically. So how does this work? How do you decide when when to send one, or when to call in? And how do you get this information that people can actually go call in for some problems which are simple to be solved?
So I can answer that a little bit. And listen, you shouldn't be thinking of Poland as being like your garage when you've got a puncture or something like that, or whatever, right? The Poland option is for seriously damaged stuff, right? And also we have to remember that some of the stuff, some of the lighter stuff may just be repaired elsewhere. So they're not saying we're going to send a Leopard tank back because it needs a service or it needs an oil change. They're saying that if something needs to go back because guess what, they've damaged the barrel, or it's been shot up and there's a big hole through the side and stuff like that, that would be what they're sending it for. Don't think of it as like a garage or anything like that. It's for seriously broken kit. So often depends on how well people look after their stuff. If it doesn't get blown up or broken, then it won't be going back to Poland.
So when we discussed back then about Bradleys, right? We discussed about Bradleys, and then we made fun that we actually didn't make fun. You explained to me how to fix it, right? More or less. Um, how I can drive it, and so forth. So the question is, are when we are talking about the little Oompa Loompa, right, being trained, are they also trained how to fix them? Like, is the same thing, the driver of the tank is the one who is responsible with the maintenance, and the others are just helping?
Okay, so right, hang on, Mike. My mic was going on and off. So listen, right. So when you take over a tank, right, you've got your tank crew. There are things that are expected from the driver, and there is things expected from everyone else. And then you'll have your mechanics, who may be doing something else. As I said, the stuff in that goes sending it back to Poland, because you've got to remember, if it goes back to Poland, it's off the field of fire for a long time, because you've got to get it to Poland, which is a very long way away, right? So then you'll have mechanics and the rest of it who do things. So what you're talking about is standard. You might call it maintenance, but it's not. It is maintenance, but it's just the things you need to do to make sure that you don't have serious problems, right? So in the same way, many years ago, when you had a car, every couple of weeks you would check the how much oil you had, right? Because basically cars leaked oil. Nowadays they don't. So some people might go 5 years without in actual fact checking their oil, because when they put their car in to be serviced, or